get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. Movie screens, then life's the biggest production, and it's a bitch with a big appetite for seduction. All of a sudden, niggas busting for a big introduction.
Hey y'all, this is Daniel. Welcome to Blunt Talk, baby. How we doing? It's season 2, baby. I know it's been a long time coming, and right here we got the third installment of the series. Not only that, we got our mock draft episode for the NBA draft this year, 2020. I know, let's get it. So, without further ado, who better to talk college basketball than my homie, Jahki Clarke? How we doing, Jahki?
Doing good, Dan. How you doing?
I'm chilling, my brother. How's it been for you with like school and the semester and everything going for you like this half of the year?
With all this coronavirus going on and everything like that, it's challenging, but it's also fun. I'm still trying to have my best life for my senior year, man. Thinking about going to grad school, so yeah, man.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
I hear you. Hopefully your senior year can be ending on a good note, and hopefully the pandemic and everything comes to an end, and you can actually enjoy it. Yeah. So I'm glad to hear that, my brother. For me, I've been working now, and I've been still working out and playing basketball. So it's just me kind of being busy now, trying to find time to get into the podcast. Like that's why I stopped this first season. Really, to be honest, I needed to get adjusted to my busy schedule. And now we back. So
yeah, man. Sure.
Is you ready to do this mock draft?
Yeah, man. Let's get to it.
So you got the first pick with Minnesota on the clock. And wait, before you even say anything, look at this little website I found. All right. So with the number 1 pick for Minnesota, Jahki Clarke's on the clock.
Well, for me, it all depends on what you actually need. So with Minnesota,
they got D'Lo and Cat.
Yeah, they have D'Lo and Cat, and I think a young superstar could definitely bring in a lot. And to be honest with you, if I was Minnesota, depending on how you want to take it as, if you want to bring in a lot of hype into the stadiums, want to bring a lot of money in, and plus you're gonna grab yourself a good player. I'd definitely bring LaMelo Ball in. I personally believe, because with the name Ball, last name Ball, his father LeVar, and what he did at Chino Hills with his brother Lonzo. I personally believe that LaMelo has showed a lot of people his growth, because before, if LaMelo never matured enough, if he matured when he was overseas. I saw it in his game, and I just saw it in his personality. He's still young, so he's still gonna do kids things. But I think on the court, he matured a lot playing over in Australia. So I definitely would pick him as number 1.
I like the pick, but I'll give you a follow-up question then. What does that do to Minnesota's defense? Because LaMelo Ball statistically in Australia was ranked at the bottom of the league in defense efficiency and other stats like steals or coverage and like all them and then you got a person like D'Angelo Russell who's not defensive, and Cat isn't the best defensive center. So I don't know if they really would go for LaMelo Ball. Yeah.
Well, here's my thing about it. I personally believe that at the end of the day, the way how the league looks, you can get away with a lot of stuff as in defensively. Because let's really think about it. Like, what team do you know that defensively they lock in for those 30 seconds? You know what I'm saying?
I know. I get what you're saying. It's not the most important.
Right now, what Minnesota is really trying to do, they're just really trying to build. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right.
Because at the end of the day, you can always as we're gonna sit here and say that LaMelo is not a really good defender, and neither is D'Lo, you can always teach a player that.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just the
true.
driving will to make them want to be serious defenders. But my honest opinion, if you want to think about it like this, offensively, they're gonna be pretty damn talented.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot of teams in the league where offensively they're very talented, but on the defensive end, it's questionable.
Mm-hmm.
But it all depends on the coach that they that they have, like I said, like in the organization. And that's two guys I would say that, not real good defenders. You know what I'm saying? But the rest of the team, solid defenders. You have Cat in the middle. Cat's not gonna allow anything that's going come down the middle.
That's you make a good case because Minnesota's all their other players are really good on defense besides their their key pieces. So just adding another piece on the offensive scheme, that'll help. So yeah, I agree with you. I like your selection. So you're clocking in with LaMelo Ball. I see. The one thing I really love about LaMelo Ball is his passing.
Yes.
He looks like he's gonna be like a Steve Nash-esque type passer in the NBA, to be honest.
And even though I love LaMelo, I always think his brother is a better passer. I think overall, LaMelo will be a better basketball player than Lonzo. And then his middle Jello, because one, LaMelo is 6'7", and even though his shot, people think you can get his shot off in the NBA. I personally think he can.
I feel like he will be with the right system, or either that or just with time, to be honest. Yeah. And I agree with you. LaMelo's going to be better than Lonzo at the end of their careers, but I still would say Lonzo's the better passer.
Yeah, Lonzo is definitely a better passer. I just think with LaMelo, he just had to get a little bit stronger. He still had to mature more, because now you're in the league. You're going against pretty much better pros that you win against and Australia. So that's just me. I picked Lonzo Ball.
I got you. So we clocked it in. The Minnesota Timberwolves selected LaMelo Ball with the first pick. Now I'm going to be picking up the second pick, and the Golden State Warriors are on the clock. And I kind of feel like this is a no-brainer in the situation that Golden State just needs a big man. And I've been hearing a lot of people say they shouldn't get James Wiseman, because eventually, with the way that the NBA is going to be in the future, is more shooting and less about the bigs. So eventually they'll have to pay James Wiseman a max contract because Steph and Clay are going to retire eventually. At the end of the day, that shouldn't really matter, because you just need him for this first couple of years. The last couple of years Steph and Clay got left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just need that big guy that will be good on defense, pick and rolls, run the floor, be athletic, and Wiseman can still shoot that midi range a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's a real good choice for Wiseman, because if you think about it, we can't pick up Anthony, all because of how the thing is set up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have Klay Thompson, you have Steph Curry, and then you have Draymond Green.
They even got Andrew Wiggins still.
Exactly. So, and I would think Anthony will start over Wiggins, only because I personally believe that the kid brings more hype into it, and you definitely want to see how the kid could wind up. But with with Wiseman, he's something special. With the few games I watched him play at Minnesota, the kid's very high motor, have a long wingspan, and I just think that kid's gonna eventually be pretty damn good. And you gotta think about it as well. He's playing with 3-time NBA
exactly
champions.
That's gonna be such a good organization for him to be a part of and be developed.
And he's gonna, and you got Steve Kerr, so he's definitely gonna develop his outside shot.
Yep.
It's not like they're not gonna teach him how to do it.
Yeah, so he's definitely gonna become a big man that can shoot and everything. He's gonna be dangerous, I feel like, in the league with a couple years.
And definitely if he's rolling off, and he's a rookie now, so not a lot of people are gonna pay attention to it. But when he's setting screens for Steph Curry or Clay, you know the double team's gonna come from them because wide open.
Mhm.
When they get wide open, it's gonna be raining all day. So with him, he's gonna get a lot of wide open looks because of they focusing more on Steph and Clay
Mhm.
than him. And especially with Steph and Clay, they pretty damn good passes. They always get the one more
Yep.
in. So he's definitely gonna shine over there because he's going to an actual system where the one more pass
Mhm.
is preached.
Well,
Especially
he's
setting good
basically going to
screens.
be their Andrew Bogut replacement when you really think about it.
Yeah.
He
But I
can
think
be as good as Andrew Bogut was for that Warriors teams. Like, come on, like this. I feel like it's one of the best fits in this whole mock draft that we're gonna find is James Wiseman to Golden State Warriors. You've been saying it. He's gonna get good training. He's got good passers on those teams. He's got a good system, and he's not gonna be the one. Like, he's not gonna be their first option, but he's still gonna fit the
no.
role, and he's gonna make the Warriors a more scarier team that they already are. If they don't
Yeah.
trade the pick, because I've heard that they want to trade the pick, I honestly think they should just keep James Wiseman.
No, yeah, I think they should keep the pick because at the end of the day, yes, you're still bringing back Clay, he's bringing back a healthy Steph Curry, but at the same time, it's nothing. It's never that. It don't hurt getting a pick. It doesn't hurt.
No, you're right. You're right.
It doesn't hurt.
So I've clocked in the Golden State Warriors with James Wiseman. Jahki, you're on the clock with the Charlotte Hornets with the third pick.
I would go with Anthony. I would definitely go with Anthony.
That's no
on this
brainer.
part.
It gives Charlotte a defensive and both slashing wing that eventually I feel like in the NBA will be able to shoot.
And especially with Anthony, the biggest thing with me is his confidence. His confidence to be able to score the basketball. And the kid, like I said, the kid just has so much confidence in himself. He wants to get better. He wants to be good. I watched the game when he played against, I believe it was Michigan State in the Maui Invitational, and you just saw the kid was just going to be something special. A lot of people, they compare him to, he says he likes Dwayne Wade. I could see a little Dwayne Wade in him, acting with the confidence. But with that being said, I think Charlotte will be a good organization because they're coming up and rising. They have a lot of young guys.
Devontae Graham,
PJ
Washington,
super young.
Miles Bridges,
and we still got Scary Terry in
Scary Terry as their backup. Yo, that's crazy too.
So he's in a good hands. It all depends on how they're gonna play him this year. But like I said, the kid has super confidence and he's just real fucking good. Like that kid is real good. Man.
Yeah. Anthony's got that talent. He's got the potential. I had him on top of my mock draft because of it. It's just the only thing that comes to mind with him is the fact that people have been saying that he tried to do too much in Georgia. Statistically, it's shown. But like at the end of the day, that Georgia team wasn't good enough. So there kind of was a reason he had to do as much as he did. And it was like it's also a program that's been rebuilding with Tom Crean, trying to bring it up now. And I believe it's just like only his second year. So of course his team wasn't going to be anything crazy. I believe they finished with a 500 record. I forget if it was like 12 or 12 or 13 or 13. But
when you think about it like this, when you have a team, for example, like Georgia, where you're the guy, the ball should be in your hands, you're going to have those type of percentages because you're mostly supposed to be taking the most of shots. So your percentage is going to get low because the ball is consistently in your hands.
Exactly.
You are the offense. So a lot of people have to understand that the kid is the offense. Just like Kobe. I'm pretty sure Kobe percentage wasn't that great throughout the years, but he is the offense.
Yeah, exactly.
But especially in the NBA, I don't think with the pros that he has and the guys that he has, I don't think he's going to be able to do a lot. As in, like, he won't have to always shoot the ball and everything like that. Like you said, you have Graham, you have Scary Terry, you even have Miles, and I just think those guys.
They'll take the load off of him. There won't be as much pressure. Yeah. But the one thing is the Charlotte team isn't crazy good too. So I feel like his rookie year isn't going to be his greatest rookie year, but he might have a better sophomore junior year. He'll have a big jump. I feel like.
Well,
Right.
well, we all said that again. We all said that with the Grizzlies. You know, the Grizzlies wasn't the best team for Ja Morant to go to, but
That's true.
I
That's true.
personally believe you make your impact and you could bring that. Because now look at Memphis. Memphis is going to be a scary team, which
They're
I believe the
looking nice
Hornets.
for the coming years with the pieces they got. Yep.
Yeah, and I believe with the Hornets, they're going to become a scary team as well, especially with how the East is set up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to be a scary team. It's definitely going to be a scary. Let me just say this: the Charlotte Hornets are not no scrubs.
Yeah, they're
They're
not
not
in
no
the
scrubs.
bottom tier of the league, but
Nah.
I'd say they're in the middle tier right now. They're not battling for the playoffs, but they're one more piece away from getting to the playoffs or something like that.
Yeah, I definitely believe that. I
So
definitely believe that.
we'll clock in Anthony Edwards with the 3rd pick. Now
Mhm.
I'm gonna be on the clock with the Chicago Bulls with the 4th selection. So this was tough because I feel like a lot of people have been saying this draft is a top 3 draft, and my decision for this is gonna have you shook, but I'm gonna go for Denny Abidja.
Mhm.
Denny Adidja from Maccabi Tel Aviv, the Israeli kid.
Yes.
From comparisons
Yes.
and everything that I've been seeing in his highlights and YouTube videos and everything, you name it, he looks like he could be a 3-and-D guy that'll like last in the league for 10+ years.
Yeah.
Easily.
Well,
First off the bat, that's the first thing I see. He's kind of reminiscing a little bit of Danilo Gallinari, in my opinion, just with the way that he sets his shot up and the way that he moves, because he's not the fastest player.
Mhm.
I don't know what his
Well,
position is in the league, though.
with that being, I agree with you. I do see a little Gallo in him, but the way how Luka made such a great example for guys that's coming in from the Australian league or just from
The Euro League,
overseas,
yeah.
Euro League, and with these Euro players, depending on the organization they go to, they can make a huge impact, you know. And it all depends on the coaching staff and how they run the system. I think the kid can personally be, like you said, he can be in the league for 9-10 years, you know,
That's a
because of
dub.
the style,
That's a
just the
dub.
style he plays. Yeah, but with him, what I think he needs to probably work on, because I have watched his film, real good outside shooter. You know, I think that's something very fundamentally sound. I personally believe that he's just gonna have to adjust to the style of play over here and get a little bit stronger. You know, the only thing I would compare him to a Luka Doncic, because Luka came in with a good size.
Yeah.
Luka would, I would say this: once LeBron James leaves the league, it's really gonna be he's gonna bust this league wide open.
Yeah.
Once LeBron, and I'm gonna even say KD's gonna be here for a while, but even then, I think he's climbing up the charts, because after that playoff performance in the bubble, I think Dallas is gonna be extremely scary.
Dallas just needs one more piece. One more piece and battling for the conference finals like that, in my opinion.
And I just think they need, because they already have Porzingis, but I just think they need a real good shooting guard.
Yes.
To follow up with Luka and then Porzingis,
like a
because they have
McCollum, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal type player.
Yeah, like a Devin Booker, a guy like Devin Booker would excel over Dallas, only because as much as Luka likes the ball in his hands, Luka is also a real good passer.
Yes.
So it takes pressure off of Brooke to even, like, you know, because at Phoenix, I feel like he has to do everything.
Yeah.
I personally believe, depending on if they can get the Chris Paul trade.
I was about to say, if they can do that, then that's game. I feel like Phoenix makes the playoffs next year.
It'll be tough. It will be tough, but I definitely, with the pieces they have, I think they will, like, you know. But then again, we said the same thing about Oklahoma.
Exactly. We doubted him with Oklahoma, so now we won't doubt him. But if he fails, we won't be completely shocked. You know what I mean? But but getting back into Denny, though, before we end with Denny, is that I feel like he would have to be like a small ball 4 in the league
Yeah.
because he's like 6'8", 6'9". He can't, and he was playing shooting guard and small forward back in Europe. So I don't know how I'm gonna go. And I really like him with Chicago, just because
Yeah.
they got Otto Porter with such a big contract, so they might just move that or something this off. I think his contract runs up like now, so he's a free agent probably. So having him next to Kobe White, who's excellent for his rookie season,
Yeah.
putting him next to Larry Markin and Zach LaVine, I feel like that'd be a nice piece. You get a sharpshooter. That's pretty much it. You get your sharpshooter.
With that Chicago team, they're very young. They're very, and you're gonna hear me say this shit. You're gonna hear me say this a lot because a lot of NBA teams they're becoming very young.
Mm-hmm.
So the teams that have, like a few old guys, they're not gonna last as long because these are some young kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, yeah, that's a real good pickup for Chicago. I think that's something that they can use, in my honest opinion.
I clocked it in for the Chicago Bulls. I gave him Danny Abija. You're on the clock with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Well, at this point, OP has to get picked up. Yeah. And the only reason why I say OP because at the end of the day, like I said, he's 6'9", that can shoot the ball, dribble the ball, and very high motor guy. So the way Cleveland's gonna rebuild, Cleveland is already rebuilding, but Cleveland will be a good spot for him because he's gonna be able to do those type of things in that type of environment, especially with the guys that he has around him that are super young and hungry. I just personally believe they need a good coach. I think they need to bring in a good coach that can help develop those guys, that core. And I just personally believe that in a few years, they may sneak in. They could maybe sneak in a playoff spot or run for a playoff, have a tender as them in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a very long time for Cleveland to be a city of champions again in a very long time.
Oh,
so
definitely.
I personally believe Opie can help them push for at least a playoff spot or finish not bottom last in East.
I feel like with the Obi selection, eventually you'll start the chain reaction that they'll trade away Kevin Love, send him to the contender. Then you'll pick up another young piece, and I agree with you. Obi Toppin is going to be right away like one of those prospects that is going to contribute right away. So for the Cleveland, this is going to be nice. They need someone to contribute because Colin Sexton's like out there really doing the most scoring because Kevin Love isn't the same Kevin Love as back in the day. And then you get someone like Andre Drummond, who's a big rebounder defender, but he's not a scorer. So you need some more scoring or someone that can at least add some more shooting to this team alongside Colin Sexton and Kevin Love. Whether they keep Kevin Love or whatever happens with that.
Yeah. My thing with this, I believe Kevin Love is going to be gone soon. Yeah. Only because of the high caliber player that he is.
And his contract too. Like if you're rebuilding, you really don't want to just deal with that. Especially with the pandemic, like teams not making as much money. Like I feel like Cleveland's going to be one of those teams to quickly be on draft night. Yeah, we'll give you Kevin Love for any pick.
Yeah, there's definitely Kevin Love's going to be out of this soon. Only because he still has a lot to go, and I believe that he wants to end his career off on a right note.
No, I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Obi Toppin clocked in as the 5th selection in the draft for Cleveland. I'm on the clock with Atlanta. In my draft board, I had Tyrese Halliburton. What I've seen and heard with this Tyrese kid, he's a little skinny. He doesn't have the biggest build or frame, so he's going to have to get some muscle when he gets to the league. He's a good passer. He can shoot really well, but people say that he's got a slow jump shot or a slow build-up or wind-up, whatever you want to call it. So I've heard critiques that he's gonna have to either fix that or something because he takes a while to get it off. He's one of those slow shooters, and I feel like
Yeah, that's
the way the league works, like a lot of these people want people they're sharpshooters, they're snipers to be like Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson that can just get it off as quick as possible.
no,
But for,
yeah.
but for the
With
point
him,
guard build and everything, like he looks like he could be a decent rotational piece for the rest of his career. To be honest, as that's the lowest I think he'll be. If anything, I don't see him being a bust.
well, with that kid, I got the chance to watch this film, and this is for the which pitch is this for?
This
For
is
the
for
Atlanta Hawks, you said?
Atlanta. This is for Atlanta. I just gave him because they need some like other guards that can help Trey Young. Because whenever Trey
Yeah.
Young's off the court, you need someone that will be at least be able to pass it. And Jeff Teague's getting old.
Well, yeah. That's one. I think the kid has a good size for his role over at Iowa State. I think he's a really good passer. I think he controlled the game a lot more. You are right. He is a slow shooter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he needs to learn how to get it off quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But his IQ of the game and his floor spacing is real good, I believe.
Yes.
And plus he's a lot of people forget he's a real high flyer. So,
Yes.
I've seen him do a lot, man.
Yeah. I really like. I just like that because Atlanta they need everything. Atlanta needs a little bit of everything, to be honest. Like they had a nice foundation with Trey Young and John Collins, and they added Clint Capella, who's not going to be a bad center, but their bench is just awful. So anything that you can draft here, I feel like just add a young prospect that could be your rotation right now, maybe in the future be a starter.
Yeah.
So I like the from my perspective, I like the selection. So I'll clock in Tyrese Halliburton for the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
Now you're on the clock with the Detroit Pistons, my guy. 7th pick of the draft.
Detroit Pistons. All right, hold on. I'm gonna have to look at my phone.
Take your time. We still got Onyeka Okungwu, Isaac Okoro, Killian Hayes, Patrick Williams, Devin Vassell, Jalen Smith.
Okay.
My homie Precious and Schron.
With the Detroit Pistons, I'm gonna have to go with RJ.
RJ Hampton, my guy?
Go with RJ. I'm gonna go with RJ
Okay.
Hampton on this one.
Okay.
Only because guard play, I think Detroit don't have a real good guard play.
They need some other guards. I agree.
Yeah, that's all. RJ's a real good player. I just think he needs a vet. The reason why I say RJ because he's going to be playing alongside Derrick Rose, and I believe Derrick Rose can help him evolve his game around it.
Yeah,
and plus,
I like that.
The kid is pretty damn good. I like RJ's game, even though he didn't have the best year in Australia, believe number wise.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he can bring a lot to the table.
I like RJ, man. I like RJ. I think he's got potential. It really matters the fit for him. And now that you mention it, Derrick Rose, if he doesn't end up getting traded, he's going to be a really good mentor for his kid. So I can't disagree with the selection, to be honest. I like it. I like it. And Kit's tall for like a point guard, shooting guard. Like he's one of those tall guards too. So he's definitely going to be the difficult to guard against people like the smaller guards in the league, like Chris Paul and like the Kemba Walkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm looking at my phone right now. I'm looking at all the players that we have in the draft. And to be frank, it's a good this might be a good draft class in my honest opinion.
I feel like this draft class, it doesn't have the biggest ceiling, but the worst case scenario with all these kids is gonna be decent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you can't complain with the selections.
Yeah, with all that, we have, you still have Cole Anthony on the board still. You still have a couple of kids from Florida State, which I honestly believe that those two kids I got the chance to watch. I got to watch their film, And Florida State has always been known for to get the kids with the long wingspan that can play defense, that can lock in on the other end, but also have a good offensive game. With those two kids, I believe anybody that gets in the draft, I think it will be a good student. I think it would be a good student.
I clocked in RJ Hampton for the Pistons. Now we're on the clock for my New York Knicks. I'm surprised this guy fell all the way down here. Because originally I had Isaac Okoro for the Knicks, but I'm going to go for Onyeka Okungwu. Just because he's got shades of like Bam Adebayo-esque with the way he's so athletic and always on the defensive end. A little bit Hassan Whiteside, Larry Sanders too. You know what I mean? I feel like he's the best defensive player in this draft.
Yeah, I like your comparison. I give him more of a Bam, like a Bam play style. You know, he's big, strong. He's able to shoot it from the mid range a little bit. Very versatile within the paint. And plus, he's a real great defender. With the New York Knicks, I personally believe Thibodeau is going to develop him into that type of style. Yeah. Because Thibodeau is real good defensively, so his defensive play is going to help the Knicks a lot more. Yes. I personally believe that he's going to have a pretty decent year with it. But it's all on his work ethic and how he accepts the game. But the Knicks is a real good spot for him because Thibodeau's there, and it's going to help him increase his defensive play.
With a coach like Thibodeau that's so keen on defense, the Knicks need better defenders in the whole starting lineup. So you got RJ Barrett, you got Mitchell Robinson as the young pieces. I'm intrigued to see if we end up getting somehow Onyeka Okongwu. How does he fit? Because like him and Mitchell Robinson would be clogging the paint, but that's all good if they're both getting like 2.5 blocks a game.
So yeah, I could definitely see it, and that's with the 8th pick, right?
Yes, Onyeka is the 8th selection of the draft. You're on the clock now for the Washington Wizards with the 9th pick.
Ooh, with the 9th pick. Like I said, it's a ton load of players in this draft. And at that point, I'm going to have to go with my man from Auburn. I love Isaac. Isaac's a real good player. I think he had a real good year over in Auburn. I think he's very athletic.
This man got hops, bro. This man is like the definition of your slashing player in the league. He can get through by anyone. Like his explosiveness, his way that he can easily change from like a direction to the other real quick. So he can I don't know how to explain it, but like he'll be at the top of the key from going from the corner to the top, but he'll quickly just do one dribble and slash like it was nothing happened, and he'll be already dunking or getting a layup on you.
And especially with the guys that he's going to be playing with, he's going to come. John Wall's coming back this year. He's coming back healthy and strong. And then you have Bill that's going to be pretty damn good next year. And when you add him into the mix, I think Washington's going to be Washington has a real good core there.
They do.
They have real good. They have the big man over from Gonzaga.
Thomas Bryant, Rui Hachimura, Maurice Wagner. I think he's a real. Like they got some nice pieces, and I feel like Isaac Okoro slides right into the small forward position. That starting lineup with John Wall's passing ability, Bradley Beal's shooting ability, Isaac's defense, Rui Hachimura can be one of those players that can even guard anyone from like 2 to 5 because of his height. And then Thomas Bryant rebounding, like they got a nice future ahead of them, or a nice couple years with John Wall and Bradley Beal's age coming up.
Yeah, most definitely. I definitely agree with you on that point. I personally think that the Washington Wizards are really in good hands, depending on how healthy John Wall come back and how he looks. I just think they're in good hands once John Wall comes back.
So we'll clock in Isaac Okoro for the Washington Wizards. I'm on the clock for the Phoenix Suns with a 10th pick. This is kind of not going to be a no-brainer. I'm going to go for Devin Vassell. Yes. If the Chris Paul were to happen, right, they would have to trade Kelly Oubre Jr. What do? You pick up Devin Vassell. Yeah. It makes sense. He's a wing. He's defensive. he's a 3-and-D guy too. Like he can actually consistently shoot, and I feel like he will translate really well to the way the leagues play. They play in the league.
Yeah, and I think with that all being said, you said it. You pretty much said the best. You know, it's gonna be good for them. I think that's a real good player to pick up for the team, and I personally think that would be good for them.
Like, and Phoenix doesn't have the best defensive team too, when you think about it. Like they need as much help as I can get. Devin Vassell is now a prospect in this list, so I'm just gonna pick someone random for the sake of the continuation of the mock draft at the end. But
so let me say this: if they're looking for a good defensive player, scroll up with us. I definitely will go with, and this may sound crazy and depends on how they feel about this pick, and if they're looking for defensive player, I definitely go with Patrick Williams from Florida State, especially because of the wingspan that he has, a real good defender. Like I said, Florida State breeds defensive players. You know, they love
Jonathan Isaac is one of them.
And I think with the style play of Phoenix, with the Phoenix coach and the style play that they like, it fits his system a lot more because, like I said, they're young. And defensively, he has a wingspan that's around 6'9", 6'10". And, you know, he just have a good feel of everything. And I personally believe that not that his offensively is going to help them because he can only do so much, but defensively, he'll be a lockdown defender for them because he's able to use his size, use his length, and help the Phoenix Suns with it.
No, Patrick Williams is looking like he could be the next version of Draymond Green, to be honest.
Yeah.
This kid's got length, muscle, and he's able to actually I don't know what the correct basketball term is, but you know when you guys be able to stay in front of your man so your footwork's on peak and you're not tripping yourself over, you're actually sliding side, you know what I mean? Like he's able to do that defensive, he's able to be like Tony Allen all over you. Like he will just he's gonna be nice defensively. Like I like that you mentioned him for the Phoenix Suns because he would probably be around the same fit as Devin Vassell. They're both defensive, but I think Patrick is the better defender in comparison of the two.
Yeah, and I personally believe that, like I said, Phoenix don't need an offensive player. They need more of a defensive side and pretty much a role player, which he will be a good role player for them coming in.
Now you're on the clock with the San Antonio Spurs on 11th, but now for the remainder of the draft, we're just gonna mention the guy and mention something real quick that we like about the guy, okay?
Yeah.
So you're on the clock with the Spurs, 11th pick of the draft.
11th pick in the draft.
And I just took Devin Vassell, so if you wanted to, you could get your boy Patrick Williams.
Yeah, so with that being said, it's gonna shock a lot of people, and I personally believe that I think he would benefit this guy a lot off of Pop. I think Cole Anthony would definitely would be a good point guard for Pop, only because the kid has a good feel for the game. I believe that he's a real good player coming out of North Carolina, despite of the year that he had. I personally believe that he should have played one more year, but I just think Cole Anthony would be a real good pickup for San Antonio, only because Pop know how to develop guys, and he's going to be around a culture where he breeds fundamentals. You know, the only thing I would say about Cole Anthony, I believe his shot selection should get better. Yeah. So like I said, when you're playing for Pop, you're going to understand everything that's going on in the system. You're going to be a system guy. And I think Cole Anthony is a system guy.
I really like that selection for you. Cole Anthony does need a system like San Antonio to help him with the shot selection. And he'd be a nice backup for San Antonio for for the moment being because they still got what's his name, the Juante Murray.
Yes,
So I like
Murray's
that
a real good
selection.
point
I like
guard.
that selection.
We still have Lenny Walker. I just
Mhm.
personally think the Spurs can be irrelevant again with the style of Pop. And plus, like I said, the NBA is starting to get young, and
Mhm.
Pop's starting to understand that. So I think Pop still is the best coach in the NBA. In my
Mhm.
opinion, I think he's still the best. So yeah.
So with the 12th selection, I'm on the clock with the Sacramento Kings.
Hmm.
I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna just get him Patrick Williams because the Sacramento Kings need some defensive wings because Harrison Barnes ain't doing no defensive effort for you. He's just there for his money bag. And then you get Buddy Hield, who's a sniper, but not known for his defense either. So I think they need some defense. Put Patrick Williams on the wing for them.
Okay.
You're on the clock with the New Orleans Pelicans with the 13th
Hmm.
pick.
13 pick. I would definitely with the 13th pick. Let me see the options of players on
We
this
still
side.
got people like Precious and Sadiq Bey, Killian Hayes, Aaron Naismith, Kira Lewis Jr., Jalen Smith.
Mhm. I'm gonna have to go with my man from Phoenix, from Memphis. I have to go with him.
Precious
I
and
like his style.
Sure.
I like his style of play. Like I said, he's gonna get better only because of Drew Holiday, and he has a point guard like Lonzo, and the
Mm-hmm.
kid can actually score the ball for his size. Very strong, physical, small forward that can play in and out. He has the only thing I think he should do a lot better is work out his outside shot a little bit more. Because
Mm-hmm.
especially with the league coming into the league, you got to be able to shoot, especially for his size. I think it's going to benefit him a lot more. And plus, he's gonna be with a young, athletic, scary group. They still have JJ under a contract, I believe so.
Yep.
And he's still gonna be able to be nurtured around guys like Brandon Ingram,
Yeah.
Zion Williamson,
He'll be in a
and
young
you got to
he'll be in a young group of guys that are still doing the same thing that
yeah.
he'll be doing, trying to develop as much as they can. So if it's a good
And when
system
you
with a
got
good
to
coach and everything.
and when you got a guy like Lonzo, man, that could just
Mm-hmm.
pass his ass off and just make you. And the thing is, when you have a point guard like Lonzo, he can make you better.
Exactly. Exactly.
So he's gonna fit well in that organization.
I like the selection for you. I've been meaning to pick him up, but I was like, wait, I'm gonna wait till the perfect team for him. But you found it. I got Boston now with the 4th team pick, the last from the lottery. I originally had Cole Anthony here, so you know what? I'll put Killing Hayes, the kid from France.
Hmm.
This kid
Yeah.
has got a jump shot, handles, he's got the speed up there. He plays for Tony Parker's team, which when I found out, I was like, that's crazy. And like
Hmm.
people are comparing him to a slower version of Tony Parker. So in a team like Boston, if you get him as your backup for Kemba, when they have Brad
Well,
Wanamaker right now, I like that because it gives you another option.
well,
It gives you another option.
with Boston will forever be a scary team with Jason Tatum, especially with the coach that they have. The coaches what they have, he's very good at defining people's roles and making
Mm-hmm.
sure they go with those roles. And Boston, those players in Boston, they buy into everything.
Yes.
So and with Kimball being there, it makes Kimball look a lot better. And you have a young, like I said, a young group in Boston, a
Mm-hmm.
super young group. Especially we have a guy like Marcus Smart that can teach them defensive stuff. And then on the offensive end, you have Kimball as your starting point guard. He's gonna learn so much.
Mm-hmm.
That Boston group is gonna be super scary. And the only reason why I believe if the bubble never happened, I personally believe that they would have got a lot better.
Oh, okay.
In my honest opinion, I think I did have them coming out in the East, frankly, only because without the NBA restart, I think they was on a roll. I personally believe Boston was on a roll, and I will take away nothing that Miami did. I just personally believe that if it was on new, as in like you have to go against Boston at Boston, Miami at Miami, I personally believe that Boston would have had a better advantage. But like I said, it's not taking away anything Miami did. I just personally believe that I had Boston coming out the East. And I still have them coming out the East next year.
We'll have to see if that happens because I got a team like Miami either coming out again or someone like Milwaukee, but that's a conversation for another day.
Well,
but
Milwaukee, in my honest opinion, I can't picture them coming out the East only because we have to think it like this. Depending on how Kevin Durant, but then again, yeah, I have, actually, I take my statement back with the Boston Celtics coming out the East. It all depends on if Kyrie can stay healthy throughout the year.
KD's coming back, so that could play a factor to who really comes out the East. The East is looking very complicated, and Doc Rivers, the coach for Philly, too.
Well, yeah, that's real good, but in my honest opinion, depends on, like I said, if Kevin Durant can look like Kevin Durant, which I think he could in a year, and then if Kyrie stays healthy, that's gonna be the major key right there. If Kyrie Irving can stay healthy, gives me a year, a full season without being hurt, Brooklyn can come out the East. So let's just say if that don't happen, I can't see Milwaukee coming out only because I love Giannis, but Giannis needs to learn how to have a skill set and be able to break down a defensive team or just a player without just forcing himself into the paint. I personally believe if Giannis can learn how to shoot the ball on a consistent rate and have more of a breakdown skill dribble set, because Giannis likes to play on the wing, but Giannis don't have a dribble set in his game. Giannis is more of I'll back you down.
He needs to develop better handles. He needs to develop a more post game or an option on the post when you're in that situation, and he needs to develop his shot into full fruition.
And another thing I would say, and I wouldn't put this fully on Giannis, I think he needs somebody else instead of Middleton. I love Middleton, but I don't think Middleton is enough. I think
need another piece. I honestly feel like they're gonna do a trade because it's the last year for Giannis's contract. I feel like they're gonna go for a big splash for a different addition to make him feel happy or something.
Well, yeah, he needs people around him. He needs another all-star, someone up to his par.
Yeah,
I would say
Middleton has to be your third option of a championship team, in my opinion.
Middleton, I don't think Middleton is your second option on the team. I think he's most likely his third, like you said. Giannis could be one, and it depends on if he brought in. And I would even say this on the limit, if he brought in like a guy like Paul George, and even though his performance at the Clippers was horrible, but Paul George is the guy where if he's hot, he's hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's always an option.
He's inconsistent recently, but he can still light it up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't think the Clippers was a good spot for him to land. My honest opinion, I just don't think that was I just didn't think that was a good mesh. Only because, and this is why I always would say Kawhi, LeBron is better than anybody in the league. Only because he helps develop guys. He brings the best out of them. Kawhi doesn't bring the best out of guys. I love Kawhi. I don't think Kawhi's a leader. I don't think he leads by how he plays.
I get what you're saying though, because LeBron's got that ability. He just makes statistically, and even when you're watching it on the court, his teammates play better. And Kawhi, he's more of an ISO guy. He's not going to be more distributing the ball. So you need to add pieces that fit Kawhi more than Kawhi fit or adhere to the pieces you have already. That's why it was weird for the Clippers and everything. But
yeah, well, like I said, Kawhi leads how he plays. He doesn't lead verbally. That's why the reason why they had such a lot of success is they had Kyle Lowry. At Toronto, when he won with Toronto, he had Kyle Lowry.
Very verbal player.
Also had
you had Marcus and Serge Ibaka, who are pretty vocal as well. Danny Green will talk. I feel like with the better,
and he had a lot of role fucking players over there. He just had a lot of role players that knew their role. But Kyle Lowry was the heart and soul of Toronto, in my honest opinion. Yeah. But like I said, like I don't picture Milwaukee coming out the East no time soon until they get that second option.
We'll have to see if it happens. Now, for the duration of the rest of the draft, and with the time length of the episode, we're just gonna mention the player that we select for the rest of the teams. So, for example, we got Orlando coming up 15 right now. Who you got? It's quick fire now. Whoever you think is like the best fit or something.
With Orlando, with that young core,
Saddiq Bey, Aaron Naismith, Kira Lewis Jr., Jalen Smith, Tyrese Maxey.
I'm gonna have to go with Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey?
Yes.
Good pick.
The only reason why I would say he's a Kentucky guy, very high motor, loves to play defense, and scoring ability, he can score. But like I said, Orlando is such a young core that they like to run. So yeah. I like that. I'll go with that pick.
I like it. For 16, I'll go with Saddiq Bey. Just giving Portland more shooting, I think, is what they need, to be honest. It just gives them more options like Rodney Hood. And who else they got? What's his name? Gary Trent Jr., for example. Sharpshooters. You need more sharpshooters. Just add more. Yeah. Doesn't hurt. You're on the clock with the 17 from Minnesota.
Minnesota, man. Minnesota. It's a lot of players. I'm not gonna lie to you, Dan. Like I have, like with this whole coronavirus and everything, it's like college basketball stopped at a certain point. So, but
how about this? How about this, my brother?
That's tough.
I'll give you my draft board, and you tell me if you agree or not.
I'm gonna say this. Wait, what's the number?
We're on the 17th pick.
I'm gonna go with Josh Green from Arizona.
That's a good pick. I forgot about him.
I'm gonna go with Josh Green. Very athletic guy, very high motor. I like the way how he plays. My honest opinion, I think he was real good for Arizona. Like I said, if coronavirus didn't have its affection on the world, I personally believe Arizona would have been. They would have went on a run. I would have gave them Sweet 16.
Okay.
And that'll be it.
For the 18th pick, we got Dallas. For Dallas, I'm gonna go for Aaron Naismith from Vanderbilt. He's a good shooter, very athletic.
Yeah.
And I feel like just getting shooters and athletic people around Luka doesn't hurt. You got the 19th pick with Brooklyn.
With Brooklyn, I got my man. I'm a Blue Devils fan, man. I'm gonna go with Renner. I'm gonna go with Renner, man. I like his game. Power forward, very versatile, shoot a little bit, very strong for his size. And like I said, with the group of guys that he's gonna be playing with, like you have KD, you have Kyrie, that's only gonna make him a lot better because you're playing with two NBA champions, top 10 in the leagues, and well respected around the league. So
that's a good fit for him, honestly. I like it. If any injuries happen, he'll get game time. He'll definitely get game time if injuries happen.
Yeah, especially with the guy like Steve Nash that can develop him and Amari Stoudemire on his bench. It's just sky's the limit for Brooklyn, man. Sky's the limit for Brooklyn.
20th pick, I'm gonna give Miami Desmond Bey from TCU. I feel like he's the best shooter in the draft, statistically. I haven't seen that much highlights from him, to be honest, but his 3-point percentage in college was the highest I've seen out of all these prospects. So I feel like Miami would be okay with that at the end of the day, after drafting Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson being undrafted and everything. I feel like they'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
How about 20? You're on the clock with Philly, the 21st pick.
21st pick, I would go with the way how what does Philly need? Philly needs an actual point guard, or even like how Rondo came in, and from there that was good.
There's one guy
But
that I know is
Philly,
like a clear, easy selection for Philly, in my opinion.
I'm gonna go with the point guard from Kansas, and the reason why I'm gonna say the point guard for Kansas, Devon. I'm gonna go
Devon
with Devon
Dotson?
because yes, I'm gonna go with Devon
Ooh,
Dotson.
okay.
I'm gonna go with him because very, like I said, Devon Dotson, he's very good with coming from Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's very athletic. He can shoot the ball. I personally believe with the guy like Doc, system guy, he's definitely gonna come in and he's gonna learn a lot from Doc, especially guys from Embiid, Ben Simmons. I think it will take a load off of Ben Simmons because the kid can actually handle the ball coming up the court. And I personally believe he's gonna. I think Philadelphia got a steal on that. I personally believe it's a steal because,
I like this.
like I said, I think it takes pressure off of Ben Simmons because God knows he needs to learn how to either shoot the ball or just be.
Yeah.
But I just personally think Philadelphia. That's what Philadelphia needs. I think they need a legit point guard. And even though he's technically was a shooting guard at Kansas a little bit, but
he can still. I feel like he'll be a combo guard in the league. That's how it works now.
Yeah.
So he'll find a position if he has to be a point guard.
When you're 6'2", you're a point guard in the league.
Yeah.
You're a point guard. So
we got on the clock now the Denver Nuggets with the 22 pick. I'm gonna pick Kyra Lewis Jr. just because he's the guy that I had the highest on my draft board that we hadn't picked yet. Because it's just a backup point guard, to be honest. I mean, Denver's got Monte Morris on their bench as the backup point guard. So just giving another young guy. Because originally I was gonna give him Leandro Balmoro, the Argentinian, because they've drafted Michael Porter Jr. and Bo recently, so it's like kind of like another project. But yeah, Kyra Lewis Jr. We don't really know. I feel like he's very unknown. He's an unknown as into what his floor and ceiling would be in the league. But he's talented, and I feel like he deserves to be drafted in the first round at least. You're on the clock with the Utah Jazz, my guy. 23rd pick.
23rd pick. I'm gonna have to go. I guess I'm a Blue Devils fan. I'm gonna go with Stanley. I'm gonna have to go with Cassius Stanley, man. Very athletic guard. Very athletic guard. Have a good year with Duke. I think he will do well under Mitchell. I think he will do an amazing job with him. And Utah's on the uprise. I really
You'll
have
definitely be a part of that rotation right away, though.
Yeah, right away over there with Utah. And I personally believe Utah, the way how they look, even in the bubble, Utah's a real scary team, man. They're a real scary team, especially when they're playing on their home floor. It's a lot of people say it's impossible. It's really hard to play in Utah, man.
It's a different atmosphere, different elevation, and
different atmosphere, man. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that pick.
Okay. 24 pick is the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm gonna go with Malachi Flynn or Malachi Flynn from San Diego State, however you pronounce his first name.
Oh no, yeah, real good pickup right there.
He's another good point guard. George Hill's getting old. Eric Bledsoe ain't working. Hey man, if you want to develop him, you got a chance. I feel like he's a fit that could be for the future, and he's really nice.
Yeah.
He's really nice. He's a good floor general and good distributor of the ball, in my opinion.
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's a good pickup for them, especially with the way how San Diego State played. Very good system guy. He doesn't play outside his role. I just think he personally can help Giannis when he kicks out. He's a real good shooter, and I just think it's going to benefit him a lot more.
You're on the clock with the Oklahoma City Thunder for the 25th pick. We still got your boy Trey Jones on the board. We still got Zeke Naji, Nico Mannion, Tyler Terry, Peyton Pritchard, Cassius. What's his name? The guy from Michigan State, Cassius Winston. No. Uh, yeah, we still got some people.
Yeah, we still do. We still do. But I'm gonna go on a limb and really say because the way how it looks, if Chris Paul doesn't come back, I don't think they have really a point guard that's gonna be effective. So I'm gonna say Howard for I'm gonna say Howard from Marquette. The reason why I would say Howard from Marquette
Marcus
is
Howard. He's in the league already.
yeah, Marcus Howard
Yeah,
from Marquette.
yeah. I could have wait, no.
No man, Marcus,
Then why was he in
you
my
had
2K? All right, all right. Now I'll take it. I'll take it. Marcus Howard, because Marcus Howard's a bucket, bro.
yeah, certified bucket man. I personally believe that he's real good. He'll be real good for Oklahoma, especially if Chris Paul if they find a way to keep Chris Paul there. I think he's gonna benefit Chris Paul a lot more. But that's just my pick. Like I said, man, it's a lot of guys in this draft, and it's like I'm over here like
I know what you mean,
who
bro. That's
like
how I
who
feel
would
for
be
the whole
who
draft.
would
That's
be a
how I feel
real
the whole
good
draft.
yeah, like the whole draft is just like I may could just give you the first round. Like with me, because like I said, I was just struggling with the top five because it's like
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. It's been like that for me this whole time. Like right now with the 26th pick, I got Boston. I'm thinking about what does Boston need? They need a big guy. So I'll give him Seek Naji.
yeah.
I'll give him Seek Naji. In Arizona, he was a decent big for them. Lots of rebounds, very athletic. If Ennis Cantor, yeah, and if Daniel Tice eventually either leave or don't work out, he's a good replacement. That's my view on it for Boston. They don't really need a specialist or anything like that here. They just need a big guy. You're gonna be on the clock for my New York Knicks for the 27th selection.
For the 27th selection, I'm gonna go on a limb. Man, it all depends what New York needs, in my honest opinion.
We need everything.
It all really, yeah, man, they need a whole lot of stuff. And with New York, because that's the thing. Like with New York, like you could give them these players, but it's like if they're gonna really, I personally believe that New York teams will get a pick anymore until they actually look good. In my honest opinion.
Hey man, I'm shook that New York finessed this because this pick is from the Clippers.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say Winston from Michigan State, the point guard from Michigan State.
Cassius Winston. Okay.
Cassius Winston, and
you made my decision later much easier because for the Lakers I'm gonna go for Trey Jones from Duke.
Trey Jones is a real good. I think he's more around this. The mock draft have him second round, but I don't believe he's a second round guy.
I feel like he should be drafted first round, even though every mock draft has it as of early second round. Like he's got some experience. He played with Zion and Barrett in that team, for example, and he's now one and done. He's actually got 2 years with Mike Krzyzewski, so that means something in my opinion.
Yeah, in my honest opinion, I just think I think Trey Jones really defined himself as a player in the college rankings. I think with how he performed with the young core of Duke, and especially with him being the point guard of Zion Williamson, Cam Reddish, and then R.J. Barrett, I think he solidified himself. And also, I just think that team needs a point guard that's real good. You know, he's real good defensively. So depending on the coach that the organization that picks him, actually, he's gonna be real good.
So we got 2 picks left. Honestly, Toronto and Boston are left.
Well,
only guys I can think of we got left is Isaiah Stewart, Nico Mannion, Tyler Terry, Peyton Pritchard.
Well, I'm gonna go with Stewart for Toronto.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm gonna say is for Toronto because
they're good at
Toronto is that
bigs.
Yes, real good development with the bigs. You have a guy like Kyle Lowry and a guy like Siakam, where they can.
They got Chris Boucher now being like a like a double-digit score, like high rebounder, like
Mm-hmm.
Chris Boucher. You still got Pascal Siakam. I feel like they'll be a good, and you got Ibaka and Gasol, good mentors. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. And those guys are gonna definitely. And with those guys, he's definitely gonna grow. That organization is real good under that head coach over there. I love
Mhm.
that head coach. I think what he did with that organization, I think what the GM did for the organization, he did a real good job. Even with Kawhi leaving, they still was able to make a run in the playoffs that
Mhm.
nobody thought they would be able to. So Toronto is real. They're going to be a real scary team throughout the years. And I
Yes,
think I think I have them top 5 in my in the East.
that makes sense.
Not
That makes sense.
yeah,
They're still a
not
good
too low
organization,
and
good
not too
coaching
high.
system, and everything. Defensively, they're sound as any other team can be. So
Mhm.
I like the addition of Leicester. And to finish the draft off with the first round of this mock draft, holy Jesus, this has been long. I'll have to pick up Tyler Terry just because he's probably the smartest prospect in this draft.
Yes. I honestly like his game. Like you said, his IQ's there. I just personally believe, like I said, I say this a lot with a lot of players, that depending on the organization that you go to, I think they'll
Mhm.
help you develop as a player.
And adding him to
And
Boston would
especially,
just be another backup option, like I just did with the earlier selection. So I feel like honestly, you can't go wrong with that for Boston.
nope, definitely
So
can't go wrong with that.
that's our draft, folks. Thank you for tuning in and listening. Jakai, thank you so much for being on the podcast with me. I really appreciate
Man,
it.
I'm always glad. I'm always
Mhm.
glad, man.
And thank you, everyone, for listening and tuning in, either on YouTube or SoundCloud. Peace out, my people.
All right, guys.